Look, the Harbaugh thing we'll be talking about that until some sort of decision is made. What do you think will happen and what should happen with the head coach at the University of Michigan?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't make any determination until the season is over, at which point there will be some discussion. There has to be some discussion from both sides. And even if it's just a discussion, him with his coaching staff, him with Don Brown, if that is something that has run its course. I just think of that game, and we've seen it a few times from Harbaugh lately. There's a detachment, disengagement that I don't quite get. Like if you went back and watched Michigan State sending out the pregame kind of hype video that Michigan State did where Mel Tucker's in the locker room and it was very passionate and fiery and it meant everything. And I haven't seen that from Harbaugh. He has talented players. He has schemes that have worked before, and they're just lately missing an edge. Now, we say that based on one game. 2 weeks ago at Minnesota, we thought they had that edge, and they had everything they needed, and they were on their way. So that's why I withhold ultimate judgment. But yes, something is clearly amiss, and something has to be at least discussed, and Harbaugh has to take a good, hard, long look at himself. Like, is he into it? Can he make the big-time decisions, whether with his coaching staff or with others, that have to be made going forward to climb? I mean, who's catching Ohio State? But now he probably has to worry about not being caught by Michigan State, and they were caught by them last week.
And how much murkier or how muddier are the waters in regards to his contract status after last weekend?
I totally agree, John. Murkier. I didn't think it was overly murky initially because you could plausibly say, well, I guess I'm in a big contract during the pandemic, and I totally get that. But I think it's officially murky, and it might be mutual. It might be both sides. It might be, Michigan doesn't feel comfortable peeling off another $7 or $8 million in these times, and with his record against top opponents, and maybe he's, like I said, this sort of detachment in. You guys have seen it, right?
Yeah.
I think we know what we're talking about here, and are we reading too much into it? I used to think so, but maybe not, really. I mean, when you see a performance like that in a rivalry game, again, I know, different pandemic, nobody's in the stands, you got to generate your own fire and your own everything else, but it's disconcerting, and I think Michigan should be concerned about it.
I won't hold it to you, but if you are accurate, you can gloat all you want. Give me two names who you think, if they made a change, would be really good and have a good chance of succeeding here.
Two names? Mm-hmm. Well, John Harbaugh.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
Yeah, but I don't see him leaving. But go ahead.
I know it's weird, but people are on this Luke Fickell thing, which I get. I think he's a very good coach.
I
can't see that, though.
Is his disdain for Michigan so ingrained that he wouldn't come? I like Stoops from Kentucky because he's actually done pretty well at that school and that conference, and they've recruited Michigan pretty well, and he has obviously Ohio ties from there. And I even brought up another name a while ago, Sarkisian.
What about Matt Campbell from Iowa State? People have
I know, but I don't know.
Certainly fond of him.
I know. Why?
Because he's done pretty well with a program that no one ever does pretty well with.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
And he's young.
And if the offense looks good, maybe keep Gaddis or Tony Elliott, the offensive coordinator at Clemson.
Clemson.
Yeah.